Rick's car, which is a great sign.
Well, let's see. There we see the 41 car. Looks like he's going to get bumped behind by the 12.
Ryan Newman in the 12. Rigs hard into the wall.
And it gets worse.
Yes. Once more. There's Biffle in the middle of it. Then he comes down off the wall.
I think would have cleared it, but he kind of got sandwiched.
Well, there's two fellas in that front five running for the championship. Biffle, who is second in points in the 60, and Jason Keller, fifth in line. Oh, hard hit! Hard into the wall was Sprague, and cars go spinning everywhere.
Caution is out.
Jack Sprague with an incredibly hard hit coming out of turn 2.
We could have a race to the line here. This could be the race right here coming. They're racing back to the caution flag.
Ricky Hendrick was in it.
Todd Bodine.
Sprague and Bodine again.
There they go. Kind of hanging close to each other, banging around a little bit here. All of a sudden they come off a 2. He gets a little wobble. Sprague does, gets that arrow push, corrects for it. There goes Todd around, and here comes the rest of the field.
Pretty much everybody else behind these cars was involved.
Saw Hank Parker scoot through, and then Ricky Hendrick
came so close to making it through. If you watch Sprague's car down on the bottom, here he is with Todd on the outside. Now what's going to happen, Sprague's car is going to wiggle a little bit. It's going to move up the track. It's going to suck the bottom of it. See it go down, and now the bottom, the thing comes around with him, hits Todd on the outside.
And there's nowhere for the rest of these cars to go. Casey Kane in 98 almost gets over all the way over.
As you go through turns 1 and 2 down here, there's some swell, some real kind of, the car wants to porpoise a little bit as it goes through that corner. Sprague loses the front end, he turns into it, and the back end comes around, gets into, then it breaks loose and gets into Todd.
Daryl, I know it's only 5 laps to go, but give and take. There's got to be some give and take.
There just can't be. These restricted, the problem you have, Mike, is these cars are restricted. If you lift, you go back. You got 5 to go. You got no choice. You got to gas it and go.
It'll be 17 laps to go, and they come.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Around goes the 38, the 4, the 1, the 33.
Look out pit road, look out pit road, look out pit road.
The 46, the 95, and the 12.
You know, that's a place we've not normally seen the big wreck breakout right in the middle of the tri-oval.
I believe with this package that through the tri-oval, when people get under you, it just loosens you up just enough to get you sideways.
Let's see what happened here. Coming into the tri-oval to complete lap 100. Bottom of your screen.
Like Mike Wallace got a little bit loose right there like you talked, Daryl, and then came back up into the car that was on the outside of it.
He bounced off a Biffle, and when he did, there was a car under him, and they got together, and then away they went.
Of course, half the field's behind him here shortly after a restart.
Boy, everybody jacked up from behind him.
Tell you what, the tri-oval here, I know people, you know, you just don't realize how you're going 190 mile an hour through a tri-oval that's got 14 degrees of banking. Can suck you around in a hurry.
This would be looking from like pit road.
Casey Kane turned around.
Typical Talladega wreck.
Yeah.
2 cars get together, 12, 13 cars end up being victim.
Yeah, Benson slammed up into the wall, and Bliss.
Well, watch that 38 car go all the way across pit lane and slam right into it right there.
And all of those cars are cars that had made green flag stops prior to that caution. Boy, Brian Vickers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., that ain't going to work, boys.
Vickers hard. Here we go. Busch, the dominant car of the day, in the wall.
That was wrong.
And 10 cars sliding, slamming into the infield.
Jimmy Johnson, totally uncalled for. Totally.
I don't care who you are. That was just wrong.
Caution is out. McMurray was a contender. He's all torn up. And the dominant car of the day, that of Kyle Busch.
is a victim of this pileup. Let's look first from the DirecTV blimp.
This is the result of a driver that's a little frustrated.
All right, there's Brian Vickers. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88 right up there at the front on the inside. Coming off 2 down the back straightaway. Jr. gets a good run.
Vickers puts a little block on him. And then you be the judge.
Let's reiterate the rule. You are not allowed to advance your position below the yellow line. If you are forced below the yellow line, you must come back up and blend in.
Vickers puts the block on him, and then Jr. just turns right back into the racetrack, right in the left rear, Brian Vickers.
Saw a similar situation like that yesterday in the nationwide race.
Labonte blocks Bobby Hamilton.
Cannot believe the Toyota.
Contact. Bobby Labonte's over. It's the big wreck on the final lap. They're racing back for the win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart are side by side.
Jeff Gordon in 32nd place. One lap.
Whoa, there you go. There you go. This is it, guys.
Jarrett, Nemechek, Jeff Burton, Mike Skinner.
It's
One
over.
car hard up into the wall, joined by another.
And they just keep wrecking.
And the hits keep on coming.
And the big hit was Joe Nemechek. Brett Bodine on fire. The wings will be extra crispy tonight.
This starts by somebody getting crowded down on the apron here. Oh, Dale Jarrett. Dale Jarrett goes
Gets
down
bumped.
in front of the 21 car, wasn't that? Oh, no, that was the 99 car. Oh, man, you're right, Mike. Nemechek took a hard lick. Then the 4 car.
Saw the lick that Brett Bodine and 11 took there in front of Joe Nemechek.
Steve Park.
Look at Blaney in the 77 all the way down on the apron, along with Jimmy Johnson in the 48 as well.
Nemechek gets hit once and then straight up and into the wall.
ESPN's coverage of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series on ABC. Brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of NASCAR. Haynes, look who we've got our Haynes on now. Napa Auto Parts, Napa, get the good stuff. And Subway Restaurants, Subway, eat fresh.
Back here to see if Edwards got through.
And the big one has happened at Talladega. Carnage all over the front straightaway here at the exit of pit road. Cars that have just been ripped apart. Martin Truex.
Blue on the 83, guys. Right front tire on the 83. Saw the rest of it.
But, man, you just knew something was going to happen as close as these guys were running.
Here we go. You can see Vickers right there in the middle. He's up towards the front of the pack because Dale Jr. is the leader of the race.
Oh,
right there.
man.
Yeah, tire blows.
Well, he just gets misses the 31. 9 cars involved into the 38.
Look at Bobby Labonte. He's fishing his way through that. I'm telling you, he missed 2 or 3 guys by inches. Then you see Martin Truex had a hard lick on that inside wall.
How did the 31 not get hit here? Watch the car come across right to Burton, right there.
Oh, that was close.
Well, didn't we say in the top of this you had to be lucky? So that's one of those times he was lucky. You see Terry Labonte spinning down through there in the 45 car.
Whoa, Kyle Busch is around. Big wreck.
Wow. There's
Dale Jr. got involved.
Oh, Junior's in it, and Matt Kenseth.
And Ty Dillon and Eric Jones are all piled up in turn 3.
What the heck happened?
The 18 just turned around. I don't know if he got himself in a unique position or the car got loose right there going in the corner or he had a tire going down, but it just turned around in front of everybody.
Remember, if you can drive it back to pit road, you can try to repair it.
All right, let's see what we got.
There's
there
Kyle
is.
Busch.
All by himself.
Boy.
Oh, it just turned. I mean, that has to be a tire. There's no way that car just jumped around like that without something happening to it. I mean, he just lost. That thing just went sideways.
They were working their way through some slower traffic right here. I can't imagine that there was an aero situation there, but
something cut that
it
tire.
definitely
Did
turned
he
around in a hurry.
Did he make contact with that car he was passing?
It's a good question.
I didn't see any, but we can look at it again.
I mean,
he's just right there. He's all by himself. Now watch. All of a sudden, that car goes around like a left rear tire maybe went down.
Before that, he and Michael McDowell were pretty close together on the racetrack.
Junior almost go up on 2 wheels.
Jimmy Johnson scoots through. A wild ride for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88, right here, right up and over the nose of Kyle Busch's car. Wow.
Boy, I tell you, that was lucky.
This started about 10 seconds ago. 9 laps in, and there's the big one.
And I counted 8 cars that just came down in front of us at the start-finish line.
That's all there is. It's about 8.
It's Johnny Sauter right here. Remember, he was in the big one a year ago. There you see Bobby Hamilton Jr., the 25 car. Jason Keller, second points, 57 car.
Crews rushing back to the garage to try to get cars back in the race. What happened at turn 4? Let's see.
Oh, something happened right there.
Something happened with 21 car. Johnny Sauter.
Car, yeah.
It's not hard.
If something happened, shot him down across the apron. They started checking up and behind him.
Almost looked like he was trying to get out of the way, and somebody got into the back of him in the process. There you go. Well, I think that may be
32 car. That's Lyndon Amick.
I think that may be behind. See, there's a 21 down on the apron. We need to go a little further back, I think.
Because I'm not sure there was contact between Sauter and Amick.
Yeah, I think he just dropped to the bottom, and all of a sudden,
watch the 21.
Well,
he's a little behind it.
He's up in front of this crowd right here. Yeah, the 32 gets into the back of the 21. Amy gets into the back of Sauter, and that's what started. I don't know, but it looked like from when I was looking at it, the 21 dropped down for some reason.
But apparently maybe Lyndon Amick got in the back of him, checked up, then Brian Vickers gets in the back of him, the 5 car.
Looks pretty easy, doesn't it?
We know better.
Think you could drive a car, folks, at home 200 miles an hour?
Closer together than most people park?
Yeah, 200 miles an hour with somebody pushing.
Trouble, turn 3.
Big wreck.
Brian Kozlowski, David Rudeman, Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth,
big
and
wreck.
half the field.
I see about 3 of the Hendrick cars there that's involved.
Mark Martin is there. I see him. There's a Biffle. Jimmy Johnson's laying over there. There's a 24 car. Looks pretty bad.
Brian Vickers limping around. And Mark Martin is part of it. Greg Biffle got a piece of it. Joe Nemechek's right front all torn up. The 9 of Marcus Ambrose.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened here, Larry. They're running awfully close together.
Watch the top right of your screen coming
right up here.
Michael into his teammate Rudeman.
Got Rudeman loose.
Right in front of Keselowski. Here comes Nemechek. Pow into Michael.
Nope, didn't make it. Didn't make it.
Brian Keselowski, we just talked about, was involved. That white car up against the wall there.
There's Mark Martin down here, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon. My. Let's see if we can see anything. Well, there's not a whole lot to see. Michael just got into the back of the... Tony Stewart did the same thing to Michael in the Bud shootout. Got into him pretty hard and turned him around right there and got Michael with it.
And Darrell, everybody was going to the apron, but those cars sliding off 31 degrees of banking, that's where they're going to end up.
It's kind of an old saying down here. What goes down must come up. And you try to go around on the outside if you can.
Jimmy Johnson's 48 just barely got into the back of Matt Kenseth to do enough damage to the right front.
Oh, no! We have a problem. And it's the crash that we had hoped would not happen. And look at the mess right here at the start-finish line. Too numerous to count.
I mean, there's just nowhere to go. I saw Bobby Labonte, our point leader, trying to get his car going. He's trying to drive back down the pit road the wrong way. Is that legal, Ray?
Well, I'm not sure, Benny. They might penalize him for that.
Well, let's take a look at what happened. The cars were right in the tri-oval in front of the main grandstand when trouble broke out.
The 32 car, right there is where the trouble's going to start. He makes contact with Robbie Gordon. He goes down, hits, I guess that's the 7 of Michael Waltrip, and then, look, there's just no place to go as those guys come across the racetrack. As the smoke goes up, there's nowhere to go except in the side of another car.
And from another angle, watch the contact between the tied car and the one running right beside it. Right there.
And the 40 car of Sterling Marlin goes in the back of Robbie Gordon, which turns him around.
But Marlin, although he may have gotten some damage in the front end, was able to get through it.
And look at that debris up there in front of these cars.
A little dicey down the back straightaway. Cars get a little bit loose and crazy as they get the end of the back straightaway.
I mean, do they think it's 10 to go?
Trouble. Here we go. Here we go.
48. Jimmy Johnson got turned, and they pile up behind him.
14, 48. I mean, the whole crowd. There's a 10. Wow. Lord have mercy. There you go.
5th caution flag of the day. 7-time series champ Johnson. Clint Boyer is in it. There's Jimmy's Chevrolet all torn up, and he's climbing out. Now watch Jimmy Johnson outside, 2nd row.
Oh, they got 4 wide. What happened was the 1 car, he snuck to the outside of the 48 getting into turn 3, and the 6 tried to go to the inside. Just not enough room to make it 4 wide right there.
And Mike, I know you won't, the cars are the most difficult to hang on to at the end of that back straightaway.
McMurray's got a big run off of turn 2, giving him a nice shove down the back straightaway. You see the momentum going forward. Now, look, Jimmy just barely clears the 6 as the 1 makes a little contact. When that happens, it shoves Jimmy a little bit to the left. 1 starts to go to the outside. There's just no room to go 4 wide as the nose of the 6 with Trevor Bayne was inside the 48. Big impact right there. DJ Kennington getting into Jimmy Johnson.
You know what I love as a driver? You're driving down on the inside. You're in that 2 car. You're leading the race. Jay Sauter, and everything's going fine. You think you're in the right place, doing a good job, and all of a sudden, a bunch of cars go by you on the outside.
And you're still wide open.
Say, roll, what?
Whoa, trouble.
Boy,
the
man.
2 car upside down, over and on to Scott Riggs. It's the big one.
Oh, boy, who is that still flipping?
Sauter. It was Johnny Sauter.
There's not anybody left.
I mean, I only see about 4 or 5 cars that are coming around through 3 and 4 right now that were not in this race. They see Mike McLaughlin in 18. They're still getting upside down cars driving under cars. There has to be 25 cars over there.
And we'll update you as we get news on the other drivers. They're assisting Mike McLaughlin out of his car. Mike is climbing out. He's okay. Watch the 2 car.
What caused this?
Oh, Meal got into Riggs.
It looked like Riggs had to maybe back out of the throttle a little bit because Kenny Wallace's car washed up as they come off the exit of turn 2 right there, the 48 car. Right here, this is turn 2. Kenny Wallace, the 48 car right there. Kenny Wallace, the 48 car right there. Kenny Wallace, the 48 car right there. Kenny Wallace, the 48 car right there.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like Shane Meal possibly just got into the back of the 10 car.
The 47 car, yeah.
Yeah, got into Riggs. Look at that 2 flipping. Looks like Rusty Wallace's flip in the number 2 Winston Cup car here not many years ago.
And when they hit
in the 3rd win in the Great American Race.
Well, we really like the styling and the personal safety system.
And that 5-star safety rating is awesome, but... Well, how about a test drive?
That's a bunch of them. Oh, my goodness. Bust us out there, Sammy. Back at Daytona, a massive accident down in turn 1 has claimed at least 15 cars. It started up toward the front of the field. You see the carnage scattered in the corner.
All right, Jeff Gordon and the Kevin Harvick make contact going down in turn 1.
And there we were talking about throwing the block, and that looks like what happened.
And the first 4 or 5 cars get through, and then about the 7th or 8th, I don't know, about wherever the 43 car of Andretti, that was the next car to hit. And after that, there's no place for anyone to go.
That's right, the track just becomes completely blocked. Take another look. See the Well, that's kind of a little bit afterwards, but see Harvick slide back up.
How did Ward Burton get through that? Wow.
And all those cars on the inside. And then the hole closed up.
Add Jeremy Mayfield to the list of those involved, the 19 car.
Now look, let's take another look here. Jeff goes down. Kevin Harvick goes to put on the block, drives down on top of Jeff. Jeff just didn't give.
Or if he tried to get out, he didn't get out in time.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Andretti, a hard lick.
Oh, wow.
You know, same thing happened in the qualifying race between Tony Stewart.
Is that Schrader caught up in it too? Yep, Schrader got a piece of it.
Folks, just watch this and listen as you're part of the big one.
You worry about a driver mistake, a mental error. But yesterday we saw a mechanical problem that caused the big one.
Right. Johnny Sauter running fourth, cut down a tire. Trouble, turn one. Hard, a car in the wall. And spinning down to the bottom. There's going to be 10 or more cars involved. Johnny Benson. Here they come to the flag, and everybody pretty much out of the throttle. Mayhem in turn one.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car. Want to check? He may have been involved in that. There he is right there.
I think he made it. He was so far in the back, Larry. I think he made it through okay.
A little bit of damage to his left front. There you see Ryan Newman in the 12 car.
Casey Mears, the nose of his Dodge torn up as well. And Hermie Sadler has crashed out of this race.
No dreams today for Hermie.
This was his very first restrictor plate race start, Hermie.
Jeff Burton on the right, Casey Mears on the left. Darrell, there was contact and one car shot up. Hard hit to the outside wall. Flames erupted. And everybody piled in.
Well, let's see if we can get some kind of idea about what happens here.
Darrell, I believe the 12 car, Ryan Newman, looks like he was out of shape, maybe starting to get loose by himself.
And Newman almost flipped over.
Remember, he had that hard crash at Daytona where he got on his roof back in February.
I can't imagine that there wasn't some sort of contact that started that, because that looked so violent. Man, that car was almost over on its top right there. It hit that wall a ton.
Rusty Wallace, his teammate, the 2 cars involved.
As they come through, watch for the last 2 cars, which I believe, there's Earnhardt Jr. up high getting through with Schrader and Tony Raines. Jr. and Raines are the last 2 to get through from Rusty Wallace.
That was Ryan Newman's tire right there bouncing over the fence.
There's Dale Jr. right there. Look at him.
I think he got just a little bit of damage on that left front.
Let's ride with Dale Jr.
Yeah, right there he got in the back of the 30 car. Can't see a thing. Look at that.
And this is the camera, but remember, he's seeing the same thing out that windshield.
Except his windshield doesn't clear like this one.
Schrader got into the side of him a little bit, and he got a little damage to the front when he got in the back of the 30 car, but otherwise I think he's going to be all right.
And what's at stake for him here? He's
trouble.
Contact on the backstretch. It's Michael Waltrip and now Brian Vickers. Robbie Gordon, 31. The time. Waltrip's over. 1, 2, 3 times for Michael Waltrip.
Well, there's the big one right there. Took a lot. There's a lot of good cars right there. Is that Sterling Marlin in there?
40 cars in it. That's Michael Waltrip's car upside down.
Talk to me, Michael.
Terry Smith. See movement there at the left side of the car as we look at it. caution flag is out. The field has slowed. And the safety and rescue workers already there attending to Michael Waltrip's car and the others involved in this big crash. And when that rim that was left on it dug into the grass, it just sent the car kind of cartwheeling over on its roof.
And when you're in a situation like that, you are just a passenger, especially when these cars start turning each other. Here you see, looks like Johnny Sauter slid up in the 30 car into Brian Vickers in the 25. A chain reaction.
Yes, that's Michael Tuckins. Yes.
And Biffle, the pole sitter, looks like he barely got through there.
So you see the tire come off of Michael's car. Then it got into that grass softened by the rain, and it just dug in, just like we saw Ryan Newman's last year, and sent the car over.
There's Harvick, Kevin LePage, Johnny Benson,
Terry Labonte. You saw McMurray and Vickers.
Okay, here we go. This might be our best shot.
Watch the car on the bottom there. The blue and yellow car. Slides up right there. Just ever so little contact, which doesn't look like a lot when you're running 185, 190 mile per hour. It's a lot.
There's the 15. And about now he's going to dig in. There goes one of the tires that Alan talked about. Violent.
Very violent.
Boy, I don't like that bump drafting through the trial. Well, that will get you in big time trouble.
Kevin Harvick in the 21. He's going to squeeze up between Paul.
Oh, there they go, right there.
There it is. J.J. Yaley in the 18.
No, it's the whole field. That'll be half the field right there. They're gone.
At least.
Daryl, I see.
Right in the middle. Come on.
There's not a car.
He had 11 cars.
You're all clear if you can keep rolling.
Got one on fire down there. It goes out, but trial.
There's the first car spun around, the 18 of J.J. Yaley.
Kyle Busch in the 5.
Johnny Sauter.
Carl Edwards, our points leader, in the 60 car.
See if we can see what happened here. They got all bottlenecked up down here. I think you're going to see right in here. That's where the contact was all made. I think that's the 38 car.
It is.
Casey Mears. And it was on from there.
We're looking at it. Here comes the 38. There's the 09. And what happened was the 38 tried to squeeze in between 44 there of Labonte, and it got him up into the 09 of Wallace, and that's when they took off.
And to me, the luckiest man that we just have here is Kevin Harvick in the 21. He had just cleared this group, moving back to the front.
Joe Ruttman sneaks through with minimal damage in the 95. Justin Labonte goes through on the bottom.
But Sorensen had a hard lick on the right side there. But how much are we going to take home today?
Welcome back to Daytona.
It's the big one, gang. It's the big one. It's what we've all been fearing. This kind of racing is going to happen.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway that began when Tony Stewart got turned sideways against the backstretch wall number 20. Stewart was the first car sideways.
Here's
why.
Here's the 4 got into the back of Ward Burton, I believe.
And then Burton's 22 got into Stewart. And everybody scrambles.
That car is taking a whale of a ride, that 20 car is. It's getting hit. It's upside down. It's hit on its roof. It's on fire.
And Tony Stewart goes for one of the wildest rides in recent memory of Daytona.
Kind of looks like the Richard Petty crash here, back when Richard crashed off turn 4 down here, standing on
Look,
its
he's got
nose.
Bobby Labonte's hood. It was hooked to the back of his car as he was in midair.
Here's Steve with more on Hamlin.
And Mike, you guys were talking about different agendas on those pit stops. Denny Hamlin took 2 tires that time, while Nemechek took 4 as Nemechek goes by Hamlin, or tries to.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Here we go again, boys.
And up and over goes Casey Mears.
What a day. I don't think I've ever seen I've been here, coming here for 30 years. I've never seen a day like this.
That was ugly. Hamlin got turned and squeezed up into 2 cars on the high side, one of which was Mears.
There he is. What's left of him. See Joe up on the outside there in the 87 car.
Look at the white lines. You see Joe move over.
Yeah. He just was trying to, I think he thought he had him cleared. Spotter may have even told him he was clear. Boy, that 38 car, Casey Mears, it took a ride right there. Stayed on its lid, didn't start tumbling.
From David Stremmy's car.
That's amazing.
And he's one of the lucky ones, Strimmy.
Well, Darrell, a 737 will, of course, it's designed to take off, but it will take off at, what, 160 some miles an hour. These cars are running 185, and the roof flaps do their job to keep that car from getting way up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, that all happened so fast, I don't think the roof flaps ever even had a chance.
No, 71, Kevin LePage involved. We did not count him as being part of this.
Wow.
Man.
Here comes Stewart in the 33 as Logano goes to the point. 3 wide in turn 4. A squeeze to the outside wall. Trouble in the corner. Hard, vicious crash. Who gets through to win the race? Caution flag has just been called. The race leader is James Buescher in the 30 car. Unbelievable. A heavy crash in the final corner of the race. Kyle Busch's car. Trevor Bayne. Ricky Stenhouse.
It looked like Stewart tried to force it on the outside. Not quite enough room to make it happen.
Well, he had the room. I think that maybe Joey Logano moved up to try to block that progress.
They raced pretty darn good.
Uh-oh, Kyle caught up. The field accordion's back.
Whoa, man.
Trouble. Stewart in the wall.
Here we go. Here we go.
Robbie Gordon's in it. The 33. Harvick is around.
Here we go, guys.
The big one.
It's just a matter of time.
At least 20 cars.
The way this started, Kyle Petty ran up high going into turn 1, and as he tried to find a place in line, the whole field kind of accordioned together. Mayhem.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Jarrett racing back to the start-finish line. Obviously, the caution is out.
Today, lap 164. Now watch Kyle Petty on the right side of your screen.
Right back here. Here's Kyle.
He's trying to find a place in line, and everybody scrambles.
Mike Wallace in the 33 up against the wall there.
Elliott Sadler flying toward the inside wall.
Takes a hard hit on that inside wall, guys. That is a heavy hit.
Mark Martin. Terry.
Down to know for later if he's stuck back in the pack. Balance good. His car just a little free when it was up top.
Johnson first. Kenseth second with a push from Gordon. Oh, Kane! Kane gets around. Slides across the track. Dillon misses him. More carnage down toward turn number 1. Montoya, Harvick.
A real low apron.
All with damage as the caution comes out. Well, Keelan Harvick is not Dad's good luck charm today. Car owner Rick Hendrick looks on to see which of his cars will make it back to pit road. Watch on the outside, the number 5, the blue car, and behind him, the yellow number 18.
Yeah, the 18 just got down on that inside, caught the left rear corner of the 5 car. That's a real vulnerable spot, and gave him a little tap and sent him sailing.
What a close call for Joey Logano on that 22. He was all the way down in the grass and dodged it.
Yeah, these guys on further down the track, they really got in it afterwards when people were slowing down.
Kane sideways, comes across the nose of Montoya. Logano misses him.
And Darrell, that was coming out of that tri-oval where you're running so fast with very little banking to hold you.
Somebody got into the back of Kevin Harvick's number 29, sending him down and then up into Stewart.
Carl has had a very strong performance the last couple of races here at Talladega. Finishes of 3rd and 6th in his last 2 races here. Oh, trouble. Jeff Purvis spins. John Andretti's into it. Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace, Harvick, Schrader.
Buckshot Jones, a 44 car, and Jeff Gordon drives by on the outside.
Flew up the racetrack. We're wrecked up pretty good.
Gordon was running by himself, well back from the pack, probably just for that reason. Championship leader didn't want to take a chance on bending up his car in final practice. He was not in the big pack of cars. Kurt Busch is in it, and the red flag is out.
Wow.
And the radio traffic you heard was from Rusty Wallace's car, who said that Kurt Busch nipped the apron with his car and came back up across the track. There's John Andretti's car. Let's take a look.
Well, the 22 is actually up on the apron and hit the 51 car.
And from there, it was on.
Yeah, well, once you're in a situation like this, you're just trying to look for a hole.
And Kurt was just trying to get stopped behind it.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. Watch the 22 car as he jumps down on the apron. What happens when you get on that apron? Actually, well, he may have gone down on that apron because the 51 car was maybe coming down on him. It's hard to say by that angle, but
Robert Pressure, the 77 car, somehow gets through. I mean, he just missed the front, and Buckshot just missed the back of the 77 as he was spinning.
Final corner at Daytona. Who's going to get here first? Regan Smith, 7. Keselowski, 22. Stewart, 33. And contact. Smith turned around. Tony Stewart is going to win this race. What a terrible crash coming to the finish.
This is a big wreck.
Kyle Larson's car with the front end severely torn off. He's bailing out of the car. Part of that car did pierce the catch fencing.
Show you what happened in this situation as the field came to the checkered flag. Watch the white 32 car. And again, Kyle Larson did climb from that machine. You heard from him a minute ago.
Car to the wall, turn one hard.
Oh, that's going to be big. Big.
Oh, huge wreck.
Everybody.
They're still running into each other. Newman's on fire.
The push gets a little side drive from that 27. Just gets him in that left rear.
Got him on that left rear.
It doesn't take much.
Can't do it.
Right there. Wow, great camera work.
Tight shot. Watch this.
Right up into Paul Menard.
Just gets it a little bit on that corner, and it turns a 48 dead right.
Yeah, sort of like the 48 was turning a little bit to the right. The 41 was turning a little bit to the left, and that little bit of contact.
2 in front of her. Check it out. Check up. Check up. Check up.
Oh, gosh.
Still middle of 3.
Levin went to the garage.
Yeah, so he must have had a lot of damage to the splitter.
Still middle 3. Check up. 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 Come on. Let it roll up. Let it roll. Check up. Check up. Check up.
Oh, there's the damage to the 11, the right front.
Just dug in.
I'm not so sure anybody made it through this one.
I don't look like.
On the inside, excuse me, that's game.
Oh,
big trouble.
Good
but
grief.
wreck. Did they not wreck?
No,
Oh,
they're wrecking. They're wrecking.
Suarez to the inside along with Newman. Cars piling up to the outside and all the way across the track.
Was that?
They're still wrecking.
Oh, McMurray's involved. It almost looked like the rear bumper of possibly Chase Elliott had got turned into somebody, but
Ty
kept going
Dillon
straight.
What a mess. Good grief. That's the one right there.
Jamie McMurray.
And the 24 in front of him.
Oh, he tries to go to the inside, make it 3 wide.
Yeah.
Gets to the left rear bumper of the 24 of Chase Elliott, turns him down into, I think that's Michael McDowell, and that just starts a chain reaction. Boy, McMurray's just super aggressive. I don't think those Hendrick teammates are going to be real happy with him.
Wow. Oh, goodness. This is amazing.
Right.
This is amazing.
McMurray into the back of, Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
So
McMurray's going to try to go 3 wide, and there isn't any room.
Guys, one of the things that happens when you're pushing somebody, you're in control of their car. And what that does is create an opportunity for you to jump inside or outside of them. And it works sometimes, but man, is it risky. You never know if you're going to be able to get inside or if they're going to block you. And that's exactly what happened. He kind of got Chase a little bit out of shape. He went to go inside there, and Chase, I don't think he had anything he could do. It just almost turned him.
Yeah. Well, when the
cars come shooting across to the inside of the track, watch this 31 of Newman do a whole lot of agricultural racing right here. Wow.
Michael Waltrip in the 55.
into the picture. Pushed by Casey Mears. Kenseth with Harvick behind him. Oh, there's contact. Stewart into the middle of the pack and over.
Caution's out.
And a huge wreck to end this race. Matt Kenseth is going to get to the finish line first. Is everybody okay? And one of the championship drivers got through. Well, here it is. Waltrip in the 55, Mears in the 13, Stewart in the 14.
You can see Tony just a little bit late in making that move to get back down. Harvick and Kenseth on the outside had a run, so they were literally going to go by him on both sides.
Watch the two. The championship leader somehow avoided getting really torn up in that.
See, it looked like Martin Truex was going to get through there. Bobby Labonte caught him right at the end.
They waited all day to do it, but it was big when it happened.
Yes, sir. See Michael Waltrip just barely catching the left rear quarter panel of Kevin Harvick. Get him involved. Stewart's car upside down on top of Casey Kane's number 5.
Superspeedway right now. Let's go down and see if we can catch up to some of the top 5 measures. And down here, Greg Biffle, Kyle Busch, both of them kind of describing amongst the laugh and probably.
They're going to have to do something to get by all those Toyotas, though.
Yeah, those 6 Toyota drivers, remember, they were some of the
trouble
first.
turn 1, guys.
One car down, spinning. Trevor Bayne up to the wall, collects another. That is Carl Edwards. The 5th wreck that Edwards has been involved in this spring. The 34 of David Reagan involved, and that's the 35 of Riverside, California's Josh Wise. We're under caution for the 4th time today.
Something happened to a car going into turn 1, as if it just, I don't know who it was, you'll have to take a look at it, but they lost it going into turn 1.
See Austin Dillon there in the 33, damage to the front end. Trevor Bayne, we mentioned him in the 21. Terry Labonte in the 32 car as well.
Josh Wise all torn up, and his teammate at Front Row Motorsports, David Reagan and David Gilliland. My goodness, all 3 of the front row cars of Bob Jenkins taken out in this pileup.
Let's see what happens here. I looked up, I saw a car spinning, I couldn't tell why.
27 is the first car out of line. It's front end. Up. Hold it, no caution. Caution is out. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Here's Brad Keselowski on the outside of Carl Edwards. Rudeman just ahead.
See what happens here. I looked up, I guess it was the 2 car. I saw going, it looked like he was down on the apron sideways. Ooh, looked like possibly.
But it looked like they started accordioning up in front of Brad Keselowski.
Very similar to what we saw at the start of the race, Larry. Just somebody slowed up a little bit and it caused that accordion effect.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 17, he just basically stopped.
Crash in turn 1.
Huge crash, unbelievable crash.
Kyle Busch got into the back of Casey Kane. Kane got turned into the wall as Busch tried to change lanes. And a lot of cars are really torn up.
Heavy hits.
It's the big one.
Yeah, that started happening before it got to the start-finish line.
They make a little light contact right here when Kyle looks like he's getting a push from Marcus Ambrose, starts to move to the outside and catches the back of the 5 car Kane and sends him around. Amy McMurray, and there goes the 29 of Harvick.
Hamlin got hit by
Brian Vickers in it now.
Yeah, Hamlin's car. Vickers, Rudeman,
the 70.
Stewart.
Martin Truex Jr. in 56 just basically all but stopped to keep from getting in it.
There it is again.
Yeah, you just gets on that right rear corner, and then Casey comes off corrects and comes right into the side of the 18 car of Kyle Busch, and then it's on from there.